Hello, everyone. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Joey. For those who do, my name is still Joey. We have actually been reading through the Gospel of Judas as of lately. Very interesting at the fact that the Gospel of Judas is not included in the Bible. There's a lot of Gospels actually that aren't included in the Bible. I might take some more research upon that, and if anyone is interested in any of those others, uh, feel free to let me know. I know I have once I finish the Gospel of Judas, I have someone who asked me about the Tower of Babel. So we will go through at least that story in Genesis. Whether or not we will continue in Genesis is another thing. But I do want to help out that person, the friend that I have who asked about the Tower of Babel. And so I will at least cover that and then hop on probably into a different book of the Bible, or maybe into a gospel that actually isn't part of the Bible. But without further ado, instead of continuously jabbering and jabbering and jabbering, we're gonna go through page 33 and probably we'll go. There's a lot here. Uh, we'll go all the way to page 39. So there's quite a few different subtitles in these, and so I want to try to do some. I want to try to do a few every day, and it looks like these are short little chapters, short little bits. So Judas kind of probably wrote in quick summary of this instead of a longer, like how Matthew would or any of the other gospels would. So going straight from page 33, where we start with Jesus teaches about cosmology, the spirit, and the self generated, all the way through page 39, which is the creation of humanity. That'll be where I stop. All right, so let's get that going. Jesus teaches about. All right, Jesus teaches Judas about cosmology, the spirit, and the self generated. Jesus said, "Come, that I may teach you about secrets no person has ever seen. For there exists a great and boundless realm, whose extent no generation of angels has seen, in which there is a great invisible spirit." And then there's like a little highlighted text here, which no eye of an angel has ever seen, no thought of the heart has ever comprehended, and it was never called by any name. That's an interesting little kind of italicized bit. I'm not 100% sure why that part specifically is italicized. Maybe it's a quote from a different part of the Old Testament during this time, because when Judas wrote this, when other disciples were following Jesus, this was during the New Testament. They didn't know it was the New Testament, but they were still in the Old Testament, which they didn't know that it was the Old Testament and New Testament because they were living right then and there. So maybe they were just quoting part of Scripture. And a luminous cloud appeared there. He said, "Let an angel come into being as my attendant." A great angel, the enlightened divine, self generated, emerged from the cloud. Because of him, 4 other angels came into being from another cloud, and they became attendants for the angelic self generated. The self generated said, "Let blank come into being blank," and it came into being blank. And he created the first luminary to reign over him. He said, "Let angels come into being to serve him." And myriads without number came into being. He said, "Let an enlightened aeon come into being." And he came into being. He created the second luminary to reign over him, together with myriads of angels without number to offer service. That is how he created the rest of the enlightened aeons. He made them reign over them, and he created for them myriads of angels without number to assist them. I could be saying that completely wrong, Myriads. I could be saying that completely wrong. For those who watch the video and know that I'm saying it incorrectly, feel free to correct me on it, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it for at least this video. And if it shows up in other videos or other readings while in separate videos, I will be sure to fix my sayings, fix my pronunciation on it. All right. Adamas and the luminaries. Adamas was in the first luminous cloud that no angel has ever seen among all those called God. He blank that blank the image blank, and after the likeness of this angel he made the incorruptible generation of Seth appear. Blank the 12 blank the 24 blank he made 72 luminaries appear in the incorruptible generation, in accordance with the will of the Spirit. The 72 luminaries themselves made 360 luminaries appear in the incorruptible generation, in accordance with the will of the Spirit, that their number should be 5 for each. The 12 aeons of the 12 luminaries the 12 aeons of the 12 luminaries constitute their Father, with 6 heavens for each aeon, so that there are 72 heavens for the 72 luminaries, and for each of them 5 firmaments, for a total of 360 firmaments space. They were given authority and a great host of angels, without number, for glory and adoration, and after that also virgin spirits, for glory and adoration of all the aeons and the heavens and their firmaments. Part of me was thinking like Adam and Eve during this bit, but then it went further in, and so it went into 12, into 24, and then I was thinking like throughout Genesis it goes into like the first 12, and then there's a cut here, then the last 12, or another 12, which is 24, but then it hops straight into 72. So I have no idea what this is talking about. This, of course, Jesus shows Judas this, and this is a comprehension and understanding beyond our own. We have no idea what this is about. Or at least I have no idea what this is about. And during that time, no one had any idea what this was about, except Jesus telling Judas and showing Judas this. So I don't understand a lot of this, and it could be helpful if I actually read the smaller text on the bottom to help like give context. But again, I don't want these videos to go too long, because my phone can't take too much storage. So unfortunately, we just kind of read through, and I go through my own basic understanding on the context. All right, continuing. Page 36. The cosmos, chaos, and the underworld. The multitude of those immortals is called the cosmos. That is perdition. By the Father and the 72 luminaries who are with the self-generated and his 72 aeons. In him the first human appeared with his incorruptible powers, and the aeon that appeared with his generation. The aeon in whom are the cloud of knowledge and the angel is called El, space, aeon, space. After that, space, said, let 12 angels come into being to rule over chaos and the underworld. And look, from the cloud there appeared an angel whose face flashed with fire, and whose appearance was defiled with blood. His name was Nebro, which means rebel. Others call him Yaldabaoth. Another angel, Saklas, also came from the cloud. So Nebro created 6 angels as well as Saklas to be assistants, and these produced 12 angels in the heavens, with each one receiving a portion in the heavens. Nebro, Very close. I'm trying to make sure I'm not saying that the wrong way or make it sound wrong. I thought this was going into the underworld like hell, Hell. Does not mention it once. Talks about the underworld, and I'm assuming that means hell. But then it talks about the heavens with these suited angels. The first one with the description of the uh, face flashing with fire and appearance defiled with blood. I thought this was going into hell, but I could be wrong. And I mean, it says which means rebel. This could be a different like uh determination isn't a word. This could be a different perspective, a different twist onto what we come to an understanding from like revelations on heaven and hell. Continuing on, the rulers and angels. The 12 rulers spoke with the 12 angels. Let each of you space, and let them blank. Generation, one line lost, angels. I'm wondering if these ellipses are either yet to be translated or lines that were lost because there's specific ones saying like line lost, one line lost, 14, 15 lines lost, 12 lines lost. I'm wondering if it is yet to be translated, which is very interesting how they would like skip part of something to translate. So I'm wondering if these ellipses are either to like cut things short or to tell us that it's not yet translated, or it was lines that was skipped, or lines that were missing. Uh, I'm not 100% sure. It kind of just dawned on me now that it's like it's giving ellipses, but then there's specifics saying like there's a line missing in this part of the gospel. So I'm curious. Continuing, the first is Seth, who is called Christ. The second is Hamathoth, who is blank. The third is Galilah. The fourth is Yobel. The fifth is Adonias. These are the five who ruled over the underworld, and first of all over chaos. The creation of humanity. This is the last bit here. The creation of humanity. Then Saklas said to his angels, let us create a human being after the likeness and after the image. They fashioned Adam and his wife Eve, who is called in the cloud Zoe. For by this name all the generations seek the man, and each of them calls the woman by these names. Now Sakla did not command except blank. The generations blank this blank. And the ruler said to Adam, you shall live long with your children. So this is all before Adam and Eve. This is all like spirits and stuff happening before Adam and Eve, meaning this had to be before heaven and hell were a thing, because once Adam and Eve were created, they were created within the Garden of Eden. First there was light, then there was water and sky, showing a difference between that and a other word of saying it. Let's separate the heavens from the earth, kind of like creating that heaven and that hell. It could have created that hell. I'm not 100% sure. Uh, Maybe we read into Genesis more, because this bit here is before Genesis, because Adam and Eve are in the very beginning of Genesis. So maybe, thank you to my friend who wants me to go into the Tower of Babel. Maybe we'll just go straight into Genesis after this, because this is kind of cool. The fact that there's so many different conversations about how the world started and everything. No one talked about what was happening before the beginning of time. And I don't think a lot of people talk about it, because it's like, how do you have something happen when nothing's created yet? And I think this goes into the context of like, God created the earth, created everything. And this kind of goes into more specifics. Now that I read this passage, the creation of humanity, I kind of want to go back and reread all this again, just to give, like, the starting from the cosmos and everything, just to give myself a better understanding, because it goes further into detail. It goes into, like, the spirits and everything that was happening before the creation of everything. So there were spirits before there were anything else. This is pretty cool. I liked this reading. And from my understanding, this is what I got from it. This is what I got from it. What I just said earlier about spirits and things being created before, spirits being before creation. I'm really liking this reading. I don't know how much more there is, but I'm gonna be more than excited to read all of this. It doesn't look like there's much left. It does not look like there's much left. But I will definitely keep going into this to see, like, just to, one, finish the reading, and two, to go further into this, to delve more into what's going on here, because this is pretty cool. I'm liking this. Yeah. All right. Without further ado, I am going to end this off here so that my video isn't terribly long. I keep doing this because, like I said before, my timer's down here for me, so I have to look down at my camera, and it's blended in with a white wall, so I gotta throw something in front to show, to try to give myself a time frame, because, like, right now I'm at 17 minutes, and that's probably about it. So I'll let you all go, quoting one of my friends, not the same from the talk about that talked about the Tower of Babel, but I will see you all tomorrow. Yeah, have a great rest of your day. Hope y'all enjoyed the nice weather outside.